I was thinking about this today, and a lot of our sons and daughters are saying what a terrible parent that their mom or dad was. And they consider that they state they were abused, and they state they had to go no contact to protect their emotional, mental, and physical well being. And I thought about this, and I think a lot of parents carry guilt about things that, maybe the way they disciplined or how they had their children face consequences. And I'm going to talk about two situations in which I'm sure people would, a couple of situations which people would say I was a crappy parent, maybe, or whatever. That number one, I disciplined my kids. Number two, they did chores. And I remember uh, when my oldest was in grade school, Fairview Elementary in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and she came home. I don't remember how old she was. She would have to tell you if you ever reach out and if she ever reaches out or whoever talks to her or watches this video. I don't remember if she was sixth, seventh, eighth grade. So I walk in the house and my youngest said, "Mom, so and so has something to tell you." And I said, "Okay." So I talked to so and so. She says, "Well, I was, I was hanging out with these girls, and there was this girl, Yelena, we didn't like, and they dared me to write Yelena's a BITCH on this sign that's attached to the gate at school. And I wrote it, and now I'm friends with Yelena. And so I told her, and now Yelena's mom is going to call you and tell you." And I said, "Okay, we're going to go to Walgreens and get some soft scrub and some other items, and we're going to clean that sign. And then you're going to write your principal, Miss Scudder, a letter telling her what you did, that you defaced her home, and you're going to fess up." So we did. And I felt like a terrible mom, an absolute horrible mom. Horrible for making her write the letter, for confessing. And the principal thanked me for doing what I did. And then when my youngest daughter was mouthing off, I think she was 17, I had had enough of her mouth. There's a lot of disrespect and this and that. And so I was ticked off. And my neighbors knew this as well. My neighbors, Danny and Carol, they kind of knew she had a mouth and she was very sassy and this and that. And I said to them, I said, "Can I box her things up and bring them over?" They said, "Absolutely." I said, "She's going to have to work for all this stuff because I don't know what else to do." So I took 5 empty boxes in her room. I made her box every single thing up in her room that she loved. The only thing she was left with, I mean, it looked like a prison cell. The only thing she was left with was her clothes, shoes, school books, desk, bed, bedding, pillows, etc. Everything else, I said, "Oh, I paid for this. You will now work for it and earn it back. And when I tell you to do something, you don't respond, you just do it." I'm sure there's other things. I oh, my one of my daughters was disrespectful. I canceled their one of their very significant birthdays, whether it was 13 or 16 or something like that. They didn't get a birthday. They get grounded, had their cell phones taken. I disconnected the internet when they left my house and they moved out. I said, "Get your own phone. You need to pay your bill. Get your own service, etc." Took them off my insurance, I think. I don't know. There's a different variety of stuff I did. So, anyways, was that constitute me being a bad mom? Oh, I'm absolutely sure it does. And I'm fessing up because if I don't fess up, I'm sure someone will talk about it. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say is I'm sure you were a crappy mom too. And if as my youngest, I don't know anything about my youngest daughter's parenting because I have never been around her children. I've heard through the grapevine one of her. I'm not going to talk about it. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to say anything negative about what I've heard. So, anyways, was I a terrible mom? Yep, I'm sure I was. Absolutely. 100% guilty as charged. But I raised two girls that never got in trouble, are out in this world doing their own thing. They've disconnected, surviving on their own. So, if that's what it takes, maybe everyone else should do it too. So, anyways, that's all I'm going to say. And I will be back.